Return my treasures to me, and I myself will carry you to the gates of Valhalla.
Welcome to your weekly ticket. Anya Taylor-Joy is going to star in George Miller's upcoming Mad Max prequel, Furiosa. Taylor-Joy has been cast in the leading role that was originally played by Charlize Theron in the Oscar-winning Mad Max Fury Road back in 2015. The film will track the genesis of Furiosa before she teams up with Max Rokitansky in Fury Road. Chris Hemsworth and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II will also star in the film, but their roles haven't been announced yet. Miller will return to direct, co-write, and produce the film. Ridley Scott and Joaquin Phoenix, who first collaborated all the way back 20 years ago on Gladiator, are teaming up once again for a historical drama titled Kitbag. Phoenix will star as Napoleon Bonaparte, the French military leader who ruled as Emperor of the French from 1804 to 1815. The film is said to be a take on the story of Napoleon's ruthless and relentless ascent to the top of French politics. And Michael B. Jordan will produce a DC movie titled Static Shock. The project was first revealed during August's DC Fandom event, and Jordan will produce via Outlier Society his Warner-based banner. The project focuses on Static Shock, which debuted in 1993 as a DC Comics distributed title from Milestone Comics, a comic banner created by Black writers and artists to help make comics a more inclusive space. Jordan said in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter, "I'm proud to be a part of building a new universe centered around Black superheroes. Our community deserves that." Outlier Society is committed to bringing to life diverse comic book content across all platforms, and we're excited to partner with Reggie and Warner Brothers on this initial step. Well, we're gonna have to wait a little longer for our next adventure with Hercule Poirot from Death on the Nile, but the good news is there's plenty of murder mystery films to check out. And today we're looking at our favorite murder mystery films of all time. And today to share his personal recommendations from this list of murder mystery films is film critic Robert Daniels. Man, Robert, how you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm fantastic actually right now. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So do you have a favorite murder mystery from this list?
Yes, I have one in particular, The Maltese Falcon, 1941. Most people don't know, it's actually an adaptation off a pulpy kind of short story. That iteration was actually the third remake for that film. So it was a kind of a story that had been bouncing around. It was kind of a B movie in some ways. Humphrey Bogart, this was kind of like the film that really launched his career as Humphrey Bogart. Before then, he'd been playing a lot of heels, a lot of bad guys, and gangster films with Cagney. But this was the one, him as Detective Sam Spade hunting the Maltese Falcon, this statue that everyone is hunting for that is supposed to be incredibly valuable that we later find out is kind of a MacGuffin. But it's one of the first times we see the teaming of Bogart with Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre. That same team would reoccur in Casablanca, for instance. But everything about this film is just, it's fantastic. It's an absolute classic.
Do you think we're due for a remake?
I think it's definitely a film that could be remade. Like I said, this was the third remake. You know, certainly, yeah. I mean, I do think it's such a simple story. Why it succeeds, especially based off just a small object like just a statue, and the romance that's happening between Bogart and his co-star. Yeah, I think we could definitely do for a remake, maybe something that is diverse and representative.
You heard it here first. Robert Daniels will be producing a remake of the the Maltese Falcon. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Now, Death on the Nile, which is the follow-up to The Murder on the Orient Express, is arriving soon. There seems to be like a trend of ensemble-based murder mysteries. Is there any that you recommend from this list that people can watch right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think a recent example is probably Knives Out from Rian Johnson. Very much is made in that Agatha Christie tradition. It's also like Columbo, you know, it begins with you seeing the murder and then you kind of have to work backwards to what happened in the murder. But it also works obviously in this Agatha Christie where Daniel Craig plays Benoit Blanc, who is kind of like this Hercule Poirot kind of character that you'd see, you know, in Mystery on the Orient Express or on the Nile. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny film. It's a film that is very aware of the tropes of a murder mystery, and it plays it to great effect.
Many, many twists as well.
Yeah.
And also the sweater. Let's not forget the sweater. I went out and bought, I don't know, a lot of people bought that cable knit sweater. I bought one too. I may have to wear it for the second half of this show for later on. But yeah, that's a great film. I haven't heard anybody talk poorly on that. Everyone loves that movie. It's a great one.
Yeah, the sweater, and then Daniel Craig's donut inside the donut.
Donut. And there's a spin-off of that one too. So you're gonna see, watch me do this transition. You're gonna see that detective be in multiple movies, which brings me to my next question. Many films on the list have detectives with multiple films. What is your favorite detective that starred in multiple films?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess, Hercule Poirot would be it. I've always been a fan of that Agatha Christie character. And Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express are some of my favorite murder mystery films. And I mean, it's one of those characters that it's kind of like, James Bond, like so many people have played him. Each person puts their different spin on him. Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Robert, for coming on the show. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so people can find me on Twitter at 812 Film Reviews. My work can also be found on Consequence of Sound, rodreber.com, The Playlists, IGN, and Polygon.
Nice. Everywhere. That's great. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Robert.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. See, I told you I'd swap into that sweater. Available to watch in theaters on Friday is The Empty Man. The Empty Man, 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 The Empty Man. Based on the 2014 graphic novel by the same name, The Empty Man tells the story of a series of mysterious disappearances in a small Midwestern town that may be linked to a supernatural entity. The film is written and directed by David Pryor and stars James Badge Dale, Stephen Root, and Joel Courtney. And available to watch at home, Unhinged.
You know what a courtesy tap is, young man? Sounds like this. It's light. It's friendly. I'm sure that's what your mom meant to do.
No, it's not. Mom!
Rachel is a single mother whose bad day gets even worse when she beeps her horn at a fellow driver during rush hour traffic. After an exchange of words, she soon realizes that the mysterious man is following her and her son in his truck. The initial case of road rage quickly escalates into full-blown terror as Rachel discovers the psychopath's sinister plan for revenge. Alright, well that's it for today, but check out that full list of murder mystery films and let us know which one is your favorite by leaving a comment. And also, if I pull this sweater off. Not like Chris Evans pull off the sweater, but just like in general. I'm Khail, and I'll see you next time.